So, what is this back to work training? We're going back into a work world that everybody has their predictions on. Oh, it's going to be work from home, and companies are going to stop doing their leases in office buildings, and everybody's going to work on Teams or Zooms, or you have the reverse. Oh boy, everybody misses the corporate culture. They miss being in teams. They want to see each other, so everybody's going back to the office. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. And the next thing is, okay, well, how do we re-engage everybody, and how do we get everybody going, and the question is, how did you keep people engaged, and where were the gaps? And then you build your training and development around that. So one of the things I've observed through this full year of a pandemic, and hopefully only a few months more, um, is the base behavior gap. So really what you're finding is, even we were all live and in the moment, a significant amount of managers, leaders, and supervisors, whatever those supervisory titles may be in your organization, um, don't have the skills to communicate effectively to ensure people are developing and giving them the tools they need to succeed to allow the organization to succeed. And I think that showed up huge in an environment where now you're not, in each other's faces all day. And that showed up on two ends. Managers feeling uncomfortable on how to lead people, and employees feeling like they weren't either communicated with on a regular basis, or quite the reverse. They were micromanaged because, heaven forbid, someone thinks that I'm not working from home. And really, it's about the base leadership behaviors that we're lacking. And I think this pandemic put a spotlight on it. So, what I've created is a training that's actually going to allow you for both models, both, I should say, three models. One, hybrid. So you're going to work a little bit from home, but hey, we're still always going to have that team environment. We're going to want to get people in for weekly meetings. We're going to go, client meetings are going to happen in the office, whatever that looks like. And there's a balance of both. The environment where it's like, hey, you know what? We finally realized that our people don't need to be here in the following roles, and people are going to have a little more flexibility to work from home. Or the other environment where you're going back to the office. And what I'm building that training on is those behaviors, and it's really about building trust. When you think about it, if you've been micromanaging, or you felt like you've been micromanaged, there's a lack of trust. If you haven't had any communication, and there hasn't been significant follow up with your leader, or you feeling like you can look for support and get an answer, there's a lack of trust on what you can ask for, and for them on where they can jump in and give you feedback on a regular basis. And so there's some fundamental leadership training that I'm putting in place, but I'm making it applicable in both platforms. So, what does that look like live? And what are the tools you can use in today's digital world to make it look and feel the same way? And do the behaviors need to be tweaked? I mean, I think everyone's got pretty comfortable with Zoom and pretty comfortable with Teams. But the question is, are the behaviors happening in those environments that would reflect what it would look like live? And I would argue is, we don't look for those tools, sorry, for those indicators. And we don't have the leadership tools to succeed. So, when we're having Zoom check-in meetings, do we feel like we're micromanaging our team, or do we feel supportive? Are we looking for nonverbal clues when they're talking, to probe and ask and find out a little more and get them to open up, to give them the tools they need to succeed? So, this back to work training, if you'd like to learn more, let me know. But basically, what's going to do is make sure you hit the ground running, whether you're taking your team all the way back into the office and resetting the behaviors that need to happen live, whether you're staying in a virtual environment, and what do those tools look like, and how do you look for those behaviors in that virtual world? How's the learning opportunity show up? How do you communicate? How do you build trust? And then the ability to use both. So if you have an interest and you want to learn more, and you really want to hit the ground running, um, by ensuring your organization is extremely productive because you're developing your team and the skills are being put in place for your leadership team to lead your people from afar or back in the environment, and reset those behaviors, I think I got something cool for you. I've had a lot of asks. Quite frankly, it came out of one client who asked for it and then never closed on it. So here it is. It's built. Happy to share it if you want to learn more. Cheers.